Hello and welcome to another RaceRoom video. It's the start of a new week of ranked racing and today we're driving the GT4 at Suzuka. Now if you've already signed into RaceRoom today you'll have seen the big news that the ranked servers are expanding. Today's schedule for the first time features a third rookie race as well as a daily endurance race which previously had only taken place once a week on a Wednesday evening. If you haven't seen it yet, this is the new look schedule, and right there at the top, 3 rookie races, all of them recurring, so as soon as one race finishes, the next one gets underway. So there's even more choice, particularly for new drivers to RaceRoom, which has got to be a good thing. For me personally, I'm really excited by the addition of the daily endurance race. I've wanted to do that race for a while, but I've never really been able to make Wednesday evenings work for my schedule. But now, with a race every evening, I'm bound to get a chance. Well, I say that, I'm bound to get a chance if I can get my rating up to 1600. Anyone who saw my last video will know that I'm almost there. I'm up to 1564 after getting my first ever podium at Zandvoort last time out. So this week I'm setting a new target. I want to get my rating up to 1600 and I want to end the week by doing my first ever endurance race. To achieve it, I'm going back to the tracks that I know. This week's schedule features Suzuka and Brands Hatch, so these are the 2 races I'm going to try, starting today with the GT4s at Suzuka. You'll see I've qualified pretty well. I put it 8th on the grid and it's a rolling start, so that reduces the risk of me making a total mess of things off the green light. All in all, I'm feeling pretty optimistic and hopefully we can build on the podium last time out. Let's go to the grid. I'm really grateful to have the inside line on the run up to these first couple of turns because I want to be assertive. I want to hold my position if at all possible. Oh, there's a big hit in front. That's surely going to cause a crash. It is. Is he going to spin back on? Oh, I think he does, but we've got around him and there's another car off to the right, so we have gained a couple of positions. Actually, we're in 7th, so we've only gained 1 position. There were definitely 2 cars that spun off, so we must have let a position slip during that first corner carnage. I'm pretty sure I picked up 4 instant points as well in the process, but I think that was from a tap from behind from the BMW Nelson behind me. I think he clipped my rear. But yeah, we've got through that first sector relatively unscathed, so I'm happy with that. We're in a good position. Now let's try and keep up with these front 6. Got a little bit too much of the curb there, but it's okay, it didn't throw me off. Oh, and another car going off in front. I need to get past him safely. Yes, we have done. I was worried about him rejoining too. But we've got by again. That driver spinning out and rejoining has actually done me a pretty big favour because it slowed Nelson down behind me. He must have had to take far more decisive avoiding action than I did, and it's cost him a bit of time. So the gap behind me has opened up now, and that's good because I can concentrate on catching these front 5 without having to worry about what's going on in my rear view mirror. So yeah, feeling good, feeling optimistic. 6th place as we approach the end of the first lap. A little bit of a gap behind me so I can start concentrating on getting my own rhythm going. Let's see what we can do. It's a really fast left-hander, that one, and it's so easy to overshoot if you carry just a little bit too much speed into it. Similarly, with this final chicane, you only need to miss your braking point by a fraction and you'll go in way too hot. But we've got through them both that first lap, so that's good. Oh, the yellows are out. Is someone else off? Yeah, there is. Someone else has spun out on the inside there. That puts us up to 5th. Oh, I did have to ease off the gas slightly because, again, I was worried about him rejoining in front of me, and that has given Nelson the chance to get right on my tail again behind. But yeah, we're in 5th. We need to gap Nelson again. We did it on the last lap, so I know I can do it again. Just need to get my foot down and get that rhythm back and start pulling away again. Oh man, that was a pretty crazy first lap, so let's take a bit of a breather and go back and look at the replay. We can see exactly what went down on those first few corners. Right, let's start at the very front and keep your eye on the KTM, making a move up the inside to take second position. He pulls it off, but then he clips the curb. That gets him a bit out of shape, and then there's a little bit of contact with the BMW behind him. Somehow the BMW holds it together. I don't know how, but yeah, the KTM, not so lucky. And let's have a look at the view from the car behind. He would have had the best view. There's the contact, and yeah, look at the BMW all out of shape, and wow, so close to getting rammed from behind. Right, let's wind it back a bit and concentrate on the car directly in front of me, the number 77. It's such a similar accident, this. He's trying to sneak up the inside. There's contact. He clips the curb too, but also spins off. I gave him as much space as I could to rejoin safely, and he manages to do so. That was lucky for us not to get collected up in that. I think the way my luck was going a week or two ago, it probably would have been a different outcome. And oh, look at that BMW completely lose control and wipes his nose too. Moving on a couple of corners, it's the same BMW that was involved in that first corner incident. I said at the time how lucky he was, but he's not going to be as lucky this time. Just loses the rear and hits the wall. But then, oh, comes right back into the path of Nelson. No wonder Nelson lost time. That was an insane rejoin. Now he's swapping paint with another BMW. He's got through, but is he going to lose it again? Almost. Almost. But yeah, poor old Nelson had his racing line completely taken away from him there. That's me in front. I get by, luckily, but look at that. Rejoining right back onto the racing line, but going a fraction of the speed. That is not good at all. And finally, we're looking at the driver in third. Get a little bit out of shape going into turn one at the start of the second lap. And yep, that's it. He loses the rear and he's spun out. That's what gave us another position. It's incredible, really, what a little bit of confidence and, more importantly, a little bit of luck can do for you in races like this. If you'll have watched my videos a couple of weeks ago, you'll have known that I was on a really bad run and anything that could go wrong generally did go wrong. But the tide seems to be turning a little bit now. I really don't want to jinx it, but when you just look at those incidents in the first couple of laps, was that 2 or 3 drivers spinning out around me and rejoining straight away, so close to collecting me. Had it happened a week or two ago, I'm pretty sure I would have been taken out, but today things are just going a little bit better. Again, I don't want to jinx it, but we're looking really good in 5th place. Keeping up with the front 4 is getting a little bit tricky. It certainly looks like they've got a bit more pace than me, but the gap back to Nelson has grown to a 2nd, so that's good. I'm in a fairly comfortable place at the moment. I just need to keep this rhythm going. Once again, just taking a bit too much of that inside curb. That's given the cars behind a little bit of a sniff to get back closer. Within a second now. Oh, and it looks like there was a pass behind and the yellow flags are out. Yeah, one of them's bailed. Nelson's still behind me, so I think it must have been Peroni who spun out. Let's have a look. Oh, and I'm glad I'm not the only one taking a lot of that inside curb. Nelson hit it big time there. But yeah, he's got Peroni all over him. Look how close Peroni is. He's having a look to the right, a look to the left. Now he's going to go back to the right again. He's trying to create an opening and he manages it. Gets up the inside on the hairpin. He's done the hard work, but then just gets on the gas a little bit too early. Loses the rear. Oh, and spins out of 6th place. Probably in the most comfortable position I've been in this race so far. Nelson's 1.6 seconds back now, so that's a pretty comfortable gap. And I know this front 4 will pretty much maintain their 4-second advantage over me. I think I would have had the pace to stick with them if I'd just been a little bit closer, but I haven't got the pace to catch them. That's the crucial thing. Not that I'm going to complain about 5th place at the moment. This would be an excellent result. I want to get that rating up to 1600 so I can take part in these new endurance races. And I think I need to gain by about 34, 35 points. So a 5th place finish in a field of 28 should go a long way towards that target. Oh, I've gone in a bit too deep there. The rear almost came around. Oh, I got lucky there. I got extremely lucky. But that's invited Nelson right back on my tail. Oh, just as I was saying how comfortable I was as well. You can never afford to get complacent in these races. Oh, and I've done exactly the same thing again. Late on the brakes, missed the apex. That's going to let Nelson through. I've got no way of defending that now. Oh, what a ridiculous mistake again. What on earth was I thinking? Yeah, that was a pretty disastrous couple of corners, starting with the entrance to the chicane. Came in way too hot, and look at the rear. It was desperate to spin around, but somehow I managed to hold it and maintain the position, but only for a couple of 100 yards. I was aware that Nelson was behind me, and I just got a bit greedy with my braking point. Left it slightly too late, and that threw me really wide. And Nelson will never have an easier pass than that one. I'm pretty sure that the next lap's going to be the last lap. So if there's a way around Nelson and getting that 5th place back, we're going to have to do it pretty quickly. First of all, I've got to bridge that half a second and get on his tail. Much more sensible into the chicane this time. I said at the start of the race how easy it was to overcook that one, and I went and did it. And it's cost me. Okay, last lap time. That gap isn't coming down, in fact it's growing. I can see my 5th place, but look, such a safe bet. A couple of minutes ago, I can see it slipping away now. I want to push to get back with Nelson, but I don't want to make any more mistakes, so I've got to find the balance. But it looks like we're creeping closer to him through this section. Yeah, we're definitely creeping closer to him. I think I'm running out of time to set up a pass, but if I can get on his tail, put the pressure on, it might fluster him and force a mistake. We've seen how it works. I did exactly the same a couple of laps ago. Felt the heat of Nelson behind me and then made a mistake going into turn 1. Let's see if we can return the favour. Closing in on him there if we can get a good exit. Can try and stay with him, but no, the gap is still close to a second. We're running out of time. Oh, clip the curb there, that didn't help. Good exit out of that turn. That's pulled us in by a couple of tenths, but I don't think it's going to be enough. I think it all hinges on the chicane. Me getting it right and him getting it wrong. Let's see what happens. Might get him on the exit if I can get a good drive. I'm right behind him, but no, I don't think I'm going to. He took it very cautiously through the chicane. He obviously didn't want to make any mistakes, nor did I. And we'll have to settle for 6th place. I can't be too disappointed with that. That's a great result, although it's a little frustrating when I had 5th seemingly sewn up a couple of laps ago. But yeah, that result's going to really help me get closer to that target of a 1600 rating. Let's take a look. We're up to 1588, so I'm only 12 away now. Gained 24 points with that finish. And as you can see from the chart, suddenly hit a really good patch of form. Starting with the 4th and 3rd place finishes in the Silhouette Series at Zandvoort last week. And then following it up with this 6th place finish here at Suzuka. And here's your winner with a fastest lap of 2:12.9. I think my laps are in the early 2:14s. So I was only a second and a bit off the pace, which again is a lot closer than I have been in recent weeks. But for now, the priority target is that 1600 rating. I'm only 12 points away. And for my next online race, I'm going to go to another track that I know, Brands Hatch. It's the Group 2 cars there this week on the online schedule. So that is where I'm going to try and get that final 12-point boost. Stay tuned for the video. Cheers.